Hey everybody. Give me a second. I'm running late from coming on live because I had a lot of stuff going on. So I just need 1 second. All right. Welcome guys. Welcome. I'm gonna give it a little bit to let people come in. Like I said, I'm running kind of late doing this live. I know, I apologize. I'm trying to figure out why I can't see. So guys, I'm running on 3 different platforms. I'm running on YouTube, TikTok. Oh, there we go. YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Okay. I normally do my TikToks on Thursdays, but I didn't have, I didn't have time to do it yesterday, so I didn't want to miss a week. So here I am. Rita, welcome. So glad to see you're here. Guys, so let's get started on it. So before we get started into today's live, okay, we're going to just, run a few things here. Number one, a disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional. I do study psychology, but I'm not a licensed therapist, and this is not meant to treat you, nor is it meant to diagnose you, nor is it meant to diagnose anyone in your life, okay? This is a platform for general information, and any questions you may have, I'll give you basic information, but I'll give you what it is I know. And of course, if you ask me for advice, I'm going to give it to you straight, no chaser. Okay. Number two, this is a platform designed for survivors and victims alike. Okay. This is a big community. So I do heavily advise anyone, I don't tolerate bullying. So anyone who decides that they want to take it upon themselves to harass other people on this in this community or myself, let's just say you better hope that the moderators get to you before I do. Okay. And number three, guys, throw those purple hearts up. All right. Purple hearts for domestic violence, purple hearts for narcissistic abuse, creating the awareness, giving voices to the voiceless, and just showing your support for one another. All right. So with all of that being said, let's get into it. All right, so I'm running back and forth between 3 different platforms, and I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can. If I do not get to answer your question, please shoot me a message, let me know. Passing time, thank you, sweetheart, thank you. Don't mind the Christmas decorations in the back, guys. I still have not taken my Christmas decorations down. I am hopefully going to take them down this weekend, because I've been too busy and too tired, and they look perfectly fine there. So you guys already know how it goes. All right. So don't mind the background. Just don't pay attention to it. All right. So we have Cubana. Do you know why they won't let go? My ex, I left him, and now he wants to destroy me. But if I stay, and guys, just to let you know in advance, thank you so much for the gifts. If you guys send me anything, and of course on YouTube, thank you for the donations. If you send me anything, I'm truly appreciated. I'm truly appreciative of everything. Okay, I may not be able to get to thank you individually, but thank you in advance. Thank you guys just for being here. Okay, that's what really matters to me. Okay, Cubana, let's get back to your question. Now, hold on, because I'm still. All right, I remember your question. And here's the thing. One of the reasons why, the main reason they don't want to let go, it's control. Okay? It's that control. Narcissistic people, manipulative people, they're basically heavily, heavily embedded in, well, one, stubbornness, selfishness, okay, arrogance and ego. Now, you ever heard that saying, it's what is it? When they won't let you go, but they won't treat you right either. Okay, it's the same thing. It's not the matter of treating you right. It's not the matter of I love you, I want to be with you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. It's the matter of I own you, I want to control you, and I want to control every aspect of your life. So in this case, this person will not let you go because you have something that they want. You have something that they crave. And if you were dealing with this person for an extended period of time or even a shorter period of time, you have managed to stroke their ego. Okay. Now, I know you probably looked at it as giving them validation, which more than likely is the case, but you have stroked their ego. And it's kind of like giving a kid candy, but then taking it away from them. All right. And if you guys know, I always refer to narcissistic people as being very infantile, like children like. It's pretty much that's what it is. It's about control. And I want you guys to understand something. I know that you guys have, you know, have had love for these people. And that may have been that way in the very beginning. It may have started off that way. But there's that thin line between loving someone and just being attached to someone. Okay. The love went out the window as far as, well, first of all, their love was non-existent. Okay. It was the superficial things that attracted them. It was basically the things that they can get above the surface. That's what pulled them in, and that's what kept them around. But to say that when everything, even after everything transpired, that you were still in love with the person, that wasn't love. That was attachment. Okay. And being attached to someone is, it was the trauma bond, attachment, conditioning, attachment. Okay. Everything that you've gone through was based on the attachment that you had with that person. The reason you found it so hard to let go, and not you, but just in general, people find it hard to let go is because of that trauma bond that you share with that person. People tend to think, well, that's my soulmate. Soulmates, yes, they come into your life to teach you a lesson, and they come into your life to, maybe better your life. But the reality of it is that love does not hurt you. Love does not lie to you. Love does not use you. Love does not abuse you. Okay? That's not love. And a lot of times, one thing I notice when it boils down to a lot of different relationships is some people misconstrue love with infatuation and vice versa. Okay. It's easy to become infatuated with someone, and it's easy to feel comfortable with someone, especially when they're working hard to make you feel that way. It makes you feel good, especially if you're codependent. It makes you feel like a freaking queen or a king. And the reality of it is that they're soothing a part of you that needs some serious healing. Okay. And they know this. That's the crazy thing. They know these things. They know that you have certain issues and you have certain insecurities, and you basically want validation. They know that you want admiration. They want these same things, but they want to, get what they can with doing minimal work, the least possible. Remember what I said before, guys, we all like to get more for less, right? And I'm not just talking about, like when you go shopping or when you're online shopping, you want to get more for less. That's the mentality of these people. They want more for less. Unfortunately, people fall prey to this because a lot of the people who end up staying in the longer aspects of the relationship with a narcissistic person or with a manipulator, a lot of these people are very codependent. Okay? These are people who lack self-love. They lack self-confidence, very insecure. And a lot of the time, this is due to abandonment. It could be abandonment from their parents, whether it be physically or emotionally. And because that person was, kind of filling a void for you, even if it was not genuine from their end, you were taking that as You're making me feel special. Finally, I met someone who makes me feel special. Finally, I met someone who actually likes me or loves me for me. Unfortunately, you met another individual who was just as likely. And please, I'll give a trigger warning on this because I know there are some people that are still going through the motions. If you've dealt with any kind of abandonment in your life from your parents, you're dealing with someone who is, in essence, a reflection of the parents or the parents who abandoned you. Okay. And it sucks. It really, really sucks, guys. And it's hard to accept that. But once you learn to accept that, and once you learn to understand that it doesn't matter what other people say or do, their projection, what they put onto you, it was never about you. If your mom or your dad abandoned you, it was never about you. If your ex abandoned you, if your family abandoned you, it was never about you. This is all about them. This is how they feel about themselves. Okay? And I want you to truly, truly understand that and accept it in your mind. Put it in your head. You know what kind of person you are. You know that you deserve love, you deserve happiness, you deserve all of these things. So please don't ever let anyone make you feel like you're not worthy of any of it, because you are. You definitely are. April, mine makes me feel like everything is my fault. And then that's because they don't take accountability for their actions. So it's easier to shift the blame. Shifting the blame onto other people is a lot easier. It makes it so much easier for them, because who wants to take accountability, or who wants to admit that they're wrong? A lot of us don't. Believe that or not, a lot of us don't want to admit when we're wrong about something. However, we know right from wrong. And if we're wrong, we know what the right thing is to do. It's to apologize, okay? It's to take accountability. We have to admit to certain things. Yeah, we don't like it, but we have to do it. That's what creates growth. These people do not want to grow. They don't want to grow for anything. All they want to do is simply take whatever they can from other people, take whatever they can from relationships, from, friendships, from family, whatever it is. But they don't, if you notice, if you guys are contributing and you're giving and you're giving and you're giving, right? Let's say you're, constantly buying them nice things. You're constantly complimenting them. You're constantly, it gets to a point that it's not being appreciated. It's being expected. And it gets to a point that now, if you don't do it, you don't put them on the pedestal. You don't tell them the sweet things, and give them all the compliments. It starts to trigger their insecurities, because now they're going paranoid. They're going crazy. They're like, okay, you're not doing this anymore. Now they become extremely paranoid, and they start to look at you like, well, what are you doing? And that's when they try to monitor you. They start looking through your phones. They start looking through your thing. They start to pretty much, and not only that, but if you're triggering their insecurities and you're not, let's say you skip the beat, let's say you skip the day because, hey, I work, I want to take a break and just relax. And you don't give them a compliment, or you don't validate them, or you don't do any of that. That's when it starts to the wheels start turning, because they're looking at it as, okay, this person's not doing, this, and these are the narcs who are scared, who fear abandonment, okay? This person's not doing what they were doing before. They're not fulfilling me. They're not stroking my ego. They're not soothing my insecurities. What are they doing? Or are they dealing with someone else? Are they going out there? Are they sharing themselves with other people? Because they don't want you to share yourself with other people, even though, God forbid, you tell them, I don't want you sharing yourself with other people, okay? Because remember, it's do as I say, not as I do. And when you incidentally, hit that insecurity button, they need to find a way to cope with that. So what do? They may go outside of your relationship. They may, try to find supply outside of what it is that you have, because you're not doing it for them. You're not being the person you once were. And it's crazy because you can bring that up to them too. You can say, oh, well, Where's the person that I first met? Where's the person I first fell in love with? Where is that person at? And they will throw a big stink, and you'll end up getting into an argument where at the end you'll end up apologizing to them. But if it's the other way around, there isn't even that communication. There isn't that, let's sit down and talk. There's that, oh, that assumption. They assume all the time. They assumptions up the wazoo. And what happens? Instead of sitting and communicating with you and telling you, we need to sit down and talk, what do? They start to assume things, and boom, they're already making the plans to go ahead and be like, you know what? This person, I have a feeling they're going to abandon me, because they're used to being abandoned by people. Why? Because they got shitty behaviors. I mean, come on, let's be realistic on it. Okay. It does not take a genius to, to say, well, I don't understand why do people abandon you? Why do people walk away from you? Why do people end things with you? It's because they have very shitty behaviors. It's very toxic. And even the most codependent person is going to be like, oh, you know something, I'd rather be alone. Like, it's to that point. They're constantly accusing you. They're constantly, like I said, monitoring your emails, your phone, checking up on you. Who knows? They may be driving by your job to make sure that you're there. They get extremely jealous. So if you have friends of the opposite sex, or if you get a compliment, or of the same sex, whatever your preference is, if you get a compliment, it's, why? Because they have to be the ones who are on the pedestal. You can't get attention. You can't get validation from other people, especially around the time that they know they're not fulfilling you. They're not fulfilling the relationship. So imagine you getting a compliment from someone outside of your relationship. That's like an atomic bomb. That's more reason for you to leave. And of course, if you end up abandoning them, okay, they throw a pity party. And by abandoning them, guys, listen, it's possible for, for victims of narcissistic abuse to discard a narcissist. That is possible. It happens. And I'm sure a lot of you have discarded them. I'm sure a lot of you walked away from them. And it wasn't because you were looking for new supply. It wasn't because you were going out there and sleeping around or doing whatever. It was because you were tired of the bullshit. You were tired of hearing their mouth. You were tired of constantly trying to fill a void, and they constantly showed you that what you're doing isn't enough, or I'm not happy. Okay, so what more do you want me to do? What more do you want me to do? That was your attitude at the end. Your attitude was, nothing I do is good enough for you. Nothing I say is good enough. And every little thing I say, you twist my words around. You always want to argue with me. You always want to make a big fuss about things. When I try to communicate with you, it's a problem. There's nothing more I can do. So what do? If you are the one who discarded them, they will pretty much throw a pity party for themselves. So now they're going to go to people and say, oh, I did everything I could possibly do, but, not, and this is what some of you probably don't know. Just like they smear you if they discard you, they're going to smear you if you discard them, especially if you discard them, because now you're rejecting them. Now you are pushing them out in the cold. And it's not because, listen, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have sat there and you have, with all your might, you held on for as long as you possibly could until you could not do it anymore. And you couldn't take it anymore. You just decided, something, this just isn't going to work, because you refuse to compromise. You refuse to communicate. You refuse to fulfill this relationship, to really be a part of this. All I see you doing is sitting there, giving me inclination, giving me indication of the things that you want from this relationship, what you want from me, but they're not being direct about it. If you notice, they're not being very direct. The reason is because in the end, you can't throw anything in their face. Not to say that you would, but you cannot throw anything in their face. So when the time comes, if they discarded you and they say, they treat you the way, I mean, we all know how a discard goes, right, guys? Very horrible, very nasty. very cold, just very mean in general. Like, you don't recognize the person that you dealt with. You're like, who the hell are you? Totally different person in front of you. And if you say, you know, what about all the things I've done for you? What about all the things that I put into this relationship? What about this and what about that? The response that you're going to get, well, I didn't ask you to do it. I didn't tell you to do it. You did it because you wanted to. You were being genuine, right? You were being genuine because that was what you wanted to do. I didn't ask you for those things. That's the most common response. And that's why they're not direct with you. That's why they gaslight you. And that's why they plant seeds. They plant seeds in your head. They'll put those seeds in there. They'll have you feeling like you're inadequate. You're just extremely inadequate. Last week, what was I talking about, guys? When I was talking about sex, what do they do with sex? They use it as a weapon. They'll either use it as a weapon to seduce you when it comes to the Hoover, to suck you back in, or they'll use it as a weapon to erode, to seriously like deteriorate your self-esteem. And that's to make you feel so low that you feel like you need them. They want you to depend on them. They want you to depend on them, but they don't want you to depend on them, if that makes sense. They want you to give them full control, but they don't want the responsibility. And if that is not the most oxymoronic bullshit I have ever heard, then I don't know what is. They don't want responsibility. They don't want the responsibility of a commitment, but they want the benefits of a commitment. They don't want to be tied down, but they want to keep you locked up. They want to keep you tied down. They want the benefits of a relationship, but they walk out there in the world acting like they're single, acting like they're teenagers. How many of you are 30, 40, 50 years old and you were dealing with someone who was still trying to live like they're 19, 20 years old? No. No, no, you're not raising a child. If that's the case, you go out there and you adopt a child. That's not how your partner should be. They're very stunted emotionally, extremely, extremely stunted, which is why if you try to communicate with them, if you try to be logical, if you try to say, okay, let's sit down and talk, they already feel threatened because you are about to criticize them. You're about to strike the ego. You're really about to strike the ego. And that is like a big no-no, clearly, because when you hit a narcissist ego or a narcissistic person, when you hit their ego, it's like they have, like, they see blood. And you're not trying to be mean about it. You're not trying to hurt them. You're just trying to give constructive criticism. And what do they give you in return? They give you some really underhanded shit. They're very, very mean and underhanded. Look at that, 58 years old. I got one that says 40 years old. and mind you, guys, they're supposed to, people who have narcissistic traits, during the teenage years, it's at an all-time high. Because if you notice how teenagers are now, they're very narcissistic. Look, 60, 55, and mind you, researchers say that it's supposed to subside when they get older. It's supposed to subside when they get older. But clearly, that's not always the case. That's not always the case when it boils down to someone who's acting petty, who's acting like a child, who simply does not want to grow up. They just don't want to grow up. They don't want the responsibility. And that's also primarily the reason why a lot of narcissist parents abandon their children. A lot of them abandon their children. You have people who end up leaving their children for certain reasons because they're incapable of taking care of their kids. And I get that. If there's substance abuse problems, alcohol abuse, I get all of that. Okay? If you want to give the child a better life, sometimes it is necessary to leave. But when you have someone who's narcissistic, who is a narcissist, clearly you have someone who feels their self-importance is more important. So having a child means taking away their freedom, taking away from, them going out there and living their life, just, having fun, partying, you know? How many people have you seen, whether it be online or you've seen certain cases where you see some females where they'll leave their kids with, everybody else because they want to go partying all the time. Or they want to go do this and it's okay to go out once in a while, but when you're literally leaving your kids because you just clearly are showing that you don't care about them and you just want to be out there and do whatever you want to do. Listen, I'm 40 years old, well, almost 40. And at the end, my bedtime is 9 o'clock. Like I can't see myself being, 50, 60 years old at the club doing nothing with myself but wasting money. But unfortunately, a lot of them want to live this way. They want to live this way because they don't, you know what? I think they have a fear of getting old. They have that, that complex of being old. They have the complex of having to adult in this life. And this is why a lot of them use people for their resources. They use people. Somatic narcissists use people for superficial things. They may use people to get clothing and jewelry and makeup and, cars and apartments and all this stuff because they don't want the responsibility of what it takes to actually earn these things. But then you got narcissists that are so irresponsible, they'll put themselves in debt because they're too busy trying to impress everybody. So what are they doing? They're going out there and they're spending all kinds of money to sit there and show off and try to impress people. What do they have to show for it? Nothing. Nothing. Which is why they say, the rich stay rich because they live like they're poor. And the poor stay poor because they trying to act like they're rich. No, act your age, act your age. That's it. But these are the things that they do. They will put themselves in bad circumstances and then they will expect other people to get them out of it. Okay? If you dealt with a narcissistic person, and I want you guys to focus really hard on your discard, okay? Especially if you've already gone through most of your healing. Focus really hard on your discard, okay? And think about everything that they said, everything that they've done. Think about all of that, all right? If it's too triggering for you, don't do it. Just focus on other things. But I want you to think about everything, okay? If in the event, after everything that happened, because logical people would sit there and say, after all of that, that person, that person knows better than to come back. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised, okay? People, and I've had a lot of people try to like negate me on this when they say, they don't face karma, they don't face this. It's bullshit. We all face karma. We all face karma. We all reap what we sow. Okay. I don't care how much in general want to believe that they're online and they're posting like they're living their life. They're living it like it's golden. No, no, because trust and believe, as sure as I am, there is a God. We all face karma and they will face theirs, which is the reason why a lot of the time they come back and try to hoover you back in. Okay? Because when they start to see that, especially, and I love you guys for speaking up. I love you guys for actually acknowledging what you went through and actually speaking up on it and actually, subtly and safely exposing these people, because when you start to expose people and they don't really have much to come back with that, people will eventually start to see them self-destruct. They'll eventually start to see them for who they are, okay? When they try to hoover you back in, whatever the reason is, guys, whatever the reason is, I told you, they're not going to face the same they're not going to face the karma that you want them to face. I know a lot of you want them to feel that way. Feel the way you felt when you were going through it. Feel the way you felt when they were talking horribly to you and they were being mean and cruel and disregarding. I know you want them to feel that way. But the fact of the matter is, someone who does not know empathy, who only knows apathy, and it's just pretty much emotionless and detached, they're not going to feel the kind of pain that you felt. And as much as we would wish that they would so they can understand, they're not going to, because they've been raised to be desensitized from emotions. However, however, they are going they're going to go through their own type of karma, which is going to affect them and their narcissistic nature. Okay? Whether that be that they end up alone, whether that be that they end up losing material things, they could lose their home, they could lose their job, they can listen. When the pandemic hit, a lot of people took a big hit. A lot of people lost their jobs. Okay? And I don't know if that's the case for your narcissistic ex or your narcissistic family or whomever it was that put you through those motions. But rest assured, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people, especially if they're narcissistic and selfish and just, completely, they're just the kind of people that have no type of empathy whatsoever, not giving a damn in the world. I'm pretty sure that quite a few of you have probably gotten a phone call or a Hoover attempt, because they're going through those motions. They're going through the after effects of things. And because they can't, the people that they went and hurt you for, the people that they went and ripped your pedestal from underneath you to give to them, don't know them now. Oh, I can't do it. I can't help you. I can't do this. I can't do that. Because the people they surround themselves with are either the same as them or they're enablers. They're the kind of people who pretty much enable those toxic behaviors. But when push comes to shove and it gets really rough, those same people are not going to help them the way you help them. They're not going to be there for them and run to the head of the line for them like you would have done when you were with them. And they realize that. They realize that, yes, you were the real deal. Yes, you were and all they had to do was change their ways. That's it. Compromise. Compromising is not sacrifice. It's, creating equality between the two of you. They weren't even willing to do that. I remember how I felt when I went through my emotions. I remember how I felt that time. That whole entire time, I was at home licking my wounds. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't going anywhere. I was depressed. I was just hurting. All the while, the other side was a totally different story. It was all, pictures and hanging out and drinking and partying. But that's how that always goes, isn't it? Isn't that how it is? When everything goes to shit and the other person already started to groom new supply, and they because somebody, okay, I call them, for the girls, I call them little putitas, okay, and for the boys, we'll call them little putos, okay. They went out there and just took a little glance, a little peek or whatever, or you put them so high on a fucking pedestal, excuse my language, I was trying to calm it down for 2022, but I guess it's not going to happen. You put them so high on a pedestal that people started noticing them. So not only did they get the attention off of your name, off of who you were, and who you were in their life, because you were putting them on the pedestal, you were encouraging them, you were pushing them, you were, and let's face facts, you were making them look good because your energy, your actions were reflective off of your relationship. And people noticed that. People saw that. Okay? People saw that and they said, oh, you're happy. You guys look like a good couple and all this. And what happens? What happens, guys? What do we normally see happens when you are in a relationship? This is why I say, and I learned my lesson with this, guys, do not go advertising every single thing about your relationship. Don't do that. Okay? Because as much as you want to get the love, you're going to get the love, but you're going to get the hate too. Okay? You are going to get the hate too. And you're going to get people who are on the outskirts that see your happiness and see, or alleged happiness. Because in this case, if you're dealing with a narcissist, you were pretty much, and I'm gonna be as well, I'm gonna be blunt because it is what it is. You were basically dipping a piece of shit in gold and taking pictures of it. That's what you were doing. That is what you were doing. And everybody was looking at that piece of shit wrapped gold and saying, oh, it looks good on the outside, but it's not so great on the inside. And people who see all of that, yes, what do people get? They get curious, you know? And you already got them on a high pedestal and they're not even giving you much. So what are they doing? Oh, well, I'm getting a little attention over here. Oh, wait a minute, I'm getting a little attention over there. Okay, well, damn, I know I got a girl, or I know I got a man, but that person looking kind of good. And then what happens? Oh, well, I'm already at the top. I'm already at the top on the pedestal. This looks good. Let me tell you something. What looks good is not always a good look. Okay? What looks good is not always a good look. And what happens? They go for the options. They go for the options. And they're not direct with you. They're not going to tell you up front, this is what it is. This is what I want. I don't want to be in this relationship. They'll tell you things that are it reflects off of you negatively. That's what they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you things that make you feel inadequate and make you feel like you're the reason why your relationship is going downhill. So now, because they're not happy and clearly they don't tell you it's over. They don't tell you it's over. They could sit there and tell half the world, I ended it with them. No, you didn't end it. You didn't end it. Technically, you survivors, you victims, you ended it when you walked away. When you walked away and decided not to open that door again, you were the one who ended it. They never ended it. If you look back, think about it. They never ended it. They just did not want to give you closure because they had no intention on you closing that door. They wanted you to be there. This is the whole reason why they use gaslighting on you guys. They use gaslighting because they need you to be as confused as possible. They keep you at an arm's length, but they keep you as confused as possible. So that way, if shorty over here who looks good with the big butt, or homie over here who looks good with the wad of money in his pocket, if that doesn't work out, they've gaslit you enough to the point that you'll be so confused when they decide to come back to you. Oh, listen, I just needed some time to just figure things out in my life. That was all it was. I just needed to, find myself for a bit because it was becoming too intense for me. I just need all these fucking bullshit reasons, okay? And unfortunately, some people end up taking them back. Some people end up actually forgiving them. I'm slow to forgive, man. I'm slow to forgive. I'll forgive eventually, but I'm very slow to forgive. I still got people from 15 years ago that I'm still forgiving. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. But they do this so that way you will stay there. It's all about control, guys. That's all it's about. It's not about love. It's not about wanting to give you the world on a silver platter. It's none of that. It's about keeping you in your position in their life. So when they want to come back in, whenever they want to come back in, all they got to do is give you a sob story. All they got to do is say, I'm sorry. I finally realized the errors of my ways. I've seen the light. Yeah, yeah. You've seen the light, all right. You're going to see the light outside my damn door because I don't want nothing to do with you. And I know it's hard for you guys. I know it's hard to let go and walk away. And just, what the heck is that? Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. I just looked up in the camera and I just saw a little crown. And is that something? I'm sorry, guys. I'm still new to TikTok. So I'm just looking at my face like, did I press something? I didn't realize it. If that is a gift, thank you so much. I'm sorry. I didn't realize what that was. I looked up. I'm like, what the? I saw a little crown and makeup. And I was like, okay. Yeah, Libra moon, cut them off too if you have to. If you got toxic family members, cut them off too. Cut them off too. Listen, in the Bible, it says when you get married, you're leaving your family behind, right? Well, in this case, if you're dealing with devils in your family, you don't want to be, that's being unequally yoked. You're being involved with people who are low vibrational, who are very toxic, and who have no benefit in your life. They don't mean you well. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to. And if they try to throw the family card, which a lot of them do, okay? They throw the family card at you, you throw it right back at them. Well, you know something? You want to sit here and throw the family card at me? Okay. Well, as loyal as I've been to you because you are my family, and as disloyal as you have been to me because you are my family, I'm revoking. I'm revoking your card. That's it. I'll cut off family. I don't have a problem. At the end of the day, I'd rather not speak to you than say anything, just anything horrible. Say anything that might get my ass in trouble. I'll just, you know what? Walk away. Walk away. Okay? Because at the end of the day, when we leave this earth, they're not going to come in the casket with us, are they? These people aren't coming in the casket, are they? Are you throwing yourself in my casket when I die? No. I love you though. Don't get me wrong. Love you, Amanda. Love my girl, my homegirl. But at the end of the day, they're not going to go with you. They're not going to go where it is that you're going. And you know something? Live while you can now. Look at everything that we're going through. Everything that we're going through. You think I got time to be dealing with toxic family and toxic exes and toxic friends? I don't got time for no. No. I am not going to leave this earth when I have a child to worry about, because when people who are toxic in your life, and especially if you have children, they're taking you away from your children. They're taking you away from being who you need to be as a parent towards your children. Okay? Toxic people take away, they withdraw. They withdraw to the point that they overdraw on your account. No, no. You got to cut them off. Cut them off. And Libra Moon, I'll tell you something. A lot of people are very influenced by evil. They're influenced by evil. You know, I talk a lot about people who do that spiritual, like, the witchcraft and the Santeria and all that stuff. Listen, I'm not dealing with nobody else but God. Okay. Someone comes in my house and just starts talking out of thin air. I got to test the spirit because I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. The devil is going to come and try to come at me in so many different ways. And I got to keep trying to block him because he wants to destroy me. He wants to destroy me. He wants to destroy what it is that I'm doing. He wants to do all of these things. And I'm just not going to let it happen. He's been fighting. Listen, he's been fighting for my life for so many years. And he still has shown why God will always prevail. So I'm not worried about it. Yes, they are. Let me just see something, guys. I'm sorry, I'm just yapping talking. Hold on 1 second. There we go. I want to make sure. I'm so sorry, guys, if you were asking questions. Oh, Rachel, you're very welcome, honey. Let's see. Katie, thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate the love, and I appreciate I just want to see you guys get through it. I want to see you guys get through it. And I want to see you guys, spend the rest of your lives just saying, something that was an experience. I thank God I went through it, but I'm never going to go through it again because it taught me something, but that's it. That's how it should be. That is how it should be. You shouldn't have to constantly go through these motions because people feel, they feel inadequate about themselves and they want to project that onto you. It's sad, but believe it or not, those red flags were always there. We just never really wanted to see it for what it was because we were too busy trying to see the good in people. And sometimes, it's okay. It's okay to see the good in people, but you got to understand that not everybody's good. Not everybody is good. You got people who have bad intentions. They're going to try their best to bring you down because that's where they are. That's where they are. And sometimes you just got to say, something, I'm going to bring myself up here. And if you are, if you are meant to be in my life, then you will bring yourself up here. But you're not going to drag me down here with you. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Libra Moon, how did you heal the traumas? Just curious. I know everyone heals differently. Well, when I was going through my emotions, I went for therapy. I did go for therapy. And that's how I learned about my codependency problems and why every relationship that I got involved in, I was sitting there just being trauma bonded. I was sitting there, holding on to people who were no good for me, holding on to people who didn't mean, who meant me no good. And when my therapist helped me understand what I was dealing with, because I had fear of abandonment, my problem was I was holding on to people due to fear of being abandoned. Okay. So they could treat me like shit. They could talk down to me. They could have nasty attitudes with me. I was like a real doormat. I was seriously being walked over emotionally, in some cases, financially, spiritually, and definitely psychologically. But because I had such a fear of being left, I was afraid of being alone. I stayed. I stayed with people who didn't respect me. I stayed with people who treated me like crap. I stayed with people who cheated on me. I stayed with people who lied to me. I stayed with people who put their hands on me. I stayed with these people because I was so afraid of being alone. And I had gotten to the point when I went through my discard, that was like the catalyst. That was what pulled the trigger and shot the gun. And I decided that I didn't want to be like that anymore. And one of the things that my therapist told me to do was I had to focus on me. Stop thinking about everybody else. Start being selfish with myself. Start focusing on me. Start working on my self-love. Working on your self-love, everybody does it differently. My self-love for me, my thing was always just being eccentric. Like I would do things for myself. I would pamper myself and I would just do things to make myself feel good. I also did affirmations, which worked a lot for me. I wrote affirmations and I put them all over my house, and I kept reminding myself, you're loved, you're not alone. And God, I turned to God, guys. That was the first one I did. I turned to God because I said, something, I was this close. I was on the verge of committing suicide. That's how bad it was. I was going to take my life. And it wasn't because of a man. It wasn't because of, oh, I lost someone in my life that I loved, that I thought was my person. It was because when I was down and out, that was where I started to literally hear voices in my head. I started to hear voices in my head. And that was when I was so down and out that whatever evilness was surrounding me, because remember, guys, evil comes around you even more when you're depressed, when you're just feeling down and you don't want to live anymore. Okay. I started hearing things in my own head, and it was just pretty much bringing back all the memories of everything that I had gone through in my life. And I just could not take it anymore. I couldn't take it anymore. I was physically in pain, emotionally in pain, and I was on the verge of doing it. And something just pulled at me. Something pulled at me, and it was with a force. It wasn't something that was just like, come on, Erica, come on, let's go. No, it was something that grabbed at me, pulled at me, and just dragged me to my living room and literally knocked me to my knees. I got to my knees, and I really feel like something, Sex and Spirit, I can honestly say I think he walks around with a succubus demon. If the Jezebel spirit, the succubus demon, and it's because of the spirits that he throughout his life has contracted. And he does have a trauma bond with his ex, who also happens to, in my opinion, have a Jezebel spirit. But I can neither confirm nor deny, you know what I'm saying? But it definitely if you get involved with these people, guys, you can have spirits attached to you too. So be very careful with that. But when I was pulled down and I just got to my knees and I felt God's anger. I felt his anger towards me. And it wasn't because of the fact that, oh, I'm going through the motions, because we as humans, I mean, hey, we suffer, right? It's part of life. It's just part of the process with us. It was because I considered taking my life when he knew that I had so much more I had to do and so much more I had to fulfill. And the mere fact that I would even think about it, and I was this close to it. I was this close to it. I was going to go. There was a ladder going up to the roof of my apartment. And thinking about it now, I am so glad that I'm glad he got mad at me, because he showed me. He's like, it's pretty much that transition of, you done? Are you done? Are you going to let me take over now? Are you going to let me take over your life and let me do what I need to do, because I'm getting really tired of disciplining you? And that's when I surrendered. And I said, yeah, yeah. And I isolated myself. And if you notice, during a discard, guys, during a discard, when you're isolated, okay, I want you to understand something. Please use that time when you're isolated. Use that time to be closer to God. Please do it. Please do it. Because when you isolate yourself, you are separating yourself from the outside world. You're separating yourself from everybody else who's toxic, all their demons, all their bullshit. You're separating yourself. Don't take isolation as a bad thing. Take it as God's protection. Take it as God's protection and hold on to that. Hold on to that, because he's going to need to strip you down. Now he has to strip you of all the evilness, of all the bad thoughts, of everything. He's got to strip you down and rebuild you. And that is what he did to me. You're going to have triggers. You're going to have triggers through the motion. You're going to basically go through, you're going to go back and forth. And it's okay. It's human. You're human. You're going to have that. But now he has to take away all of that you've come in contact with, and he has to rebuild it up. But remember, faith without works is dead. So you got to do the work too. You can't just sit there and have God doing all the work for you, because if that were the case, it would have happened a long time ago. He needs you to learn. He needs you to understand, and he needs you to remember that your relationship with him comes first. Okay? People can come and go in this chat. I don't care, because at the end of the day, when I'm talking about God, I'm not denying him with anybody, especially when he has blessed me beyond belief. I'm not doing it. But he needs to pull all of that out. Yes. Thank you, lovable pruning. Okay? He needs to pull all of that out. Now, everything you went through, now he's starting off your clean slate. But the one thing you got to remember to do, guys, the one thing you have to remember to do is seek forgiveness from him. Because when you are a believer in God and you are unequally yoked with people who do not believe in God, who basically do the devil's work or whatever the case may be, you went in with your free will. You went in knowingly. And everything that was going on, you went in knowing what you were getting into. So just remember, go to him for forgiveness and leave them, these people, their nonsense, the people they surround themselves with, leave them in God's hands. He'll take care of them. He will take care of them. He needs you to focus on your relationship with him. And that's what I did. That is where the root of my self-love came. That is where he would wake me up every day, guys, 3 a.m. I woke up every day, 3 a.m. and I had to pray. I had to pray at 3 a.m. every day for a couple of months. I prayed I prayed at 3 a.m. Okay. And I didn't know why I was doing it, but I did it. During prayers, I kid you not, during prayers, I felt fire around me. I felt fire. It felt like needles were poking at me. I felt people like, noise going, like, distractions. I was getting distracted. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous about it. I was scared, but at the end of the day, the voice inside of me said, keep praying. Keep praying. Do not stop. And that's when I understood. That's when I learned. And that's how I was able to get through my healing. I got through my healing. But the devil's going to mess with you guys too, guys. I'm telling you, he's going to mess with you. He's going to do things that's going to make you want to reach out to them. The devil went and started showing me images that were very horrible. Horrible. One time I got on the phone with my brother and I asked my brother, please pray. Just pray for him. I said, please pray for him. I don't know what happened. My brother got on the phone with me. He was praying. My brother is a very, very big with God. And he said, Erica, I had to stop. And I said, why? He goes, because God pulled me and put me into his bedroom. And he saw things in his bedroom that even I didn't know existed. And he said, that man is contemplating suicide. And I said, what? And it's crazy because I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should reach out to him. I didn't know if, I didn't know anything. I did not reach out to him because as much as I wanted to at that time, I prayed to God. I went to God. I said, I gave him to you. He's in your hands. He's no longer my responsibility. And I can't do anything about that. You have faith in God. You believe in God. Trust and believe. He knows what's best for you. He knows what's best for you. And I want you guys to really, really take that and walk with him on it. Walk with him. Look at that. Look at that, lovable. Same-sex soul attachment, witchcraft, Lord. Yeah. When they get involved in stuff like that, listen, narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, a lot of them get involved in cults. They get involved in witchcraft. They get involved in a lot of these things that you just need to stay away from. You need to stay away from these things. Okay. These spirits are not here to help. They're not here to help. They're not here to do right by you. And again, a spirit will come to you like if it's light. Like if it's, I'm an angel. I'm, and that's exactly, fellas. How many of you fellas have gone through that with these females who've come to you in the form of light, who come to you as humble people, who have said, yeah, I'm a girly girl, but I'm just, I'm just a humble, as sweet as pie kind of girl. That's who I am. Came off, really cool, really down to earth, told you, hey, I'm an awesome person. I want you to see that. I want to show you that. But then they end up showing you who they truly are when the mask comes off. But by that time, you're already sucked in. You're already sucked in and you're already pretty much, you got that grip around you. Be very careful with that, guys. The devil will bring you something that will be very appealing to your eyes, but more so very appealing to your flesh. That's all it's going to be. And then what happens? When you give into it, you succumb to it. And then when you succumb to it, now you got... Oh, I'm sorry about that, guys. My phone fell. Was I lying? Was I lying? You see? That's confirmation right there, okay? Confirmation right there, because I was nowhere even near my phone, okay? Oh, I be knowing. People don't want me speaking on things. I be knowing. That's okay. I want a demon to try to come into my heart. I dare you. I dare you. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to go riding back on that motherfucker, back to the person who sent it. Try me. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, when you're doing good and you're trying to do right, you're trying to help people, you're trying to give, you're just trying to give back. That's all I've been doing, man. I've just been trying to give back as much as I possibly can, trying to help people. And you know something? These people don't want to be exposed. They don't want you knowing anything. They don't want you to educate yourselves. You got to do it. You got to do it, guys. I'm telling you, once you get through these motions and you get through, the hardest part, of course, is yes, walking away, letting go. Those are the two hardest things. But once you realize what's in store for you when you do, you be like, John who? Jennifer who? I don't know them. I'm too busy being blessed. I'm too busy having my abundance because I was obedient. I was obedient to God, and I was and I was listening to what he said, and boom. Because let me tell you something, people who do dark magic and things like that are people who feel they need to manipulate other people to get what they want. That's the same damn thing. Gaslighting, the same damn thing. You're manipulating other people's free will. And people who need to do this, that's pathetic, man. I listen, to each their own, but I'm not gonna sit here and practice something that goes against what God says. I'm not doing it. Yes, it is, Anna. Exactly. I just said that too. Faith without works is dead. You have to do the work, guys. You got to do the work on yourself. You have to come to first of all, take accountability for any actions that you've had on your part. Okay. I always encourage that. All right. And it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It just means that you're man and woman enough. You're grown enough to take accountability for any wrongs that you have done to anyone in your life. Okay. That shows growth. That shows that you are trying to really change your ways and trying to change whatever parts about yourself that you don't like. Don't be like them. Don't be like them. Okay. Don't let their projections convince you that all of this happened because of you. No, all of this happened because they had some real shitty people in their lives. And you know something? Because they didn't have anybody else to take it out on, and you were the sweet person who came into their life who basically, hi, Anna. It's good to see you too, sweetheart. Because they had these people, in their lives who have abandoned them, who've lied to them, who cheated on them, who've manipulated them, who've abused them, because you were kind. First of all, they take your kindness, they take your loyalty, they take your love, your affection, your devotion. They take everything that you have that involves empathy, that involves genuineness. They take it as a weakness. They take it as a sign of you're a weak person. So because emotions, you know what Dave Chappelle said? Dave Chappelle said, empathy is bisexual. It goes both ways. I was watching him on YouTube. He made a very good point about it when he was doing the stand-up. But there is truth to that. When he was talking about the whole um his whole skits and stuff and how he was getting backlash and criticism and stuff like that. I'm gonna use that as a phrase. But it's true. It's true though. It goes both ways. Isn't that? I mean, listen, hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's the truth, okay? Okay? I don't need nobody coming for me, but it's the truth. It goes both ways. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, it does not matter. It goes both ways. Being a man, being empathetic, being sympathetic, that does not emasculate you. That makes you more of a man, okay? Because that is what God instilled in you. Being a woman is the same thing. It makes you more of a woman. It shows that you have, you have morale. You have morale. You possess something that these people lack. And that's something you should be proud of. You should be proud of having these qualities. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, I love red. I love red. Actually, that's, between red, black, blue, tan, beige. I like to mix it up, but I think red just represents, it does definitely for me. It's like I'm feeling really powerful too with today's, today's messages. Hey, Gil. Hi, Stella, Davy, Ty. Yes, Libra Moon. And a lot of them who use their scars, one thing I've learned when it boils down to when people want to express their past, when you're getting to know someone, you guys will talk to each other about certain things of your past. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure you trust the person that you're sharing things with. Okay. Make sure you trust them completely. But a lot of the time, narcissists, no matter which one they are, okay, no matter where on the spectrum they are, they will use their past as a way to get you to kind of bring down your defenses. And by that I mean to feel sorry for them. Okay. So if you notice, like when they're speaking about an ex or they're speaking about past relationships, if you notice, it will always be a one-sided thing where they might throw a thing or two in there, but they're going to always point out that it was the other person, the ex, who was doing whatever it was. And clearly, if they discarded you, or even if you discarded them, it's going to be the same case with you with the new person. They're going to tell them, pretty much everything they did to you, they're going to flip it around, flip the roles, and they're going to say it was you who did it to them. This is to gain sympathy and empathy out of you, and this is to turn you against. Hold on one second. I'm sorry about that, guys. That was my battery. This is to turn you against the ex, so that way you guys don't have a way to communicate about things. So you guys will basically hate each other without really knowing each other. Because more than likely they're going back to that ex and telling that ex things about you. A lot of the time, if you dated a narcissist, they were either messing with the ex or they still are, and they're giving the ex one story while they're giving you another. Which is, if you notice, they stay in friendships or they stay in the environment of the ex. They're pretty much starting something with you, but they're kind of trying to regroom the ex in to keep, to have something with them as well. I personally have a name for them, but I'm not going to say it because it's not very kind. Yeah, April. And you know something? I will tell you guys though. Also understand that though the ex may have been a victim, they could also be a narcissistic person too. So don't fall asleep with that. Okay? Take everything with a grain of salt. What happened? What happened? Take everything with a grain of salt. Yep. Living a double life. Oh, Ruth, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made I'm glad you came. I'm glad you came, and I hope that you're able to get, any information that it is that you need. Yeah, April. It will definitely, when it boils down to telling them certain things about you, especially during the discard, they will use it against you. They'll use it as like ammo. They will use it as ammo. They'll basically try to, let me not move the table, to try to hurt you, to make you, listen, if they're trying to groom new supply and clearly it's you getting, like, you coming in, or you constantly, asking questions or coming around trying to gain clarity, is infringing on them trying to, gather up new supply. They're going to say something probably reflective off of something that you shared with them, and, in confidence, to really hurt you, to kind of, to really do more than just sting you. And that's, of course, to push you away even further. And it's crazy because they do all of this, and then when all is said and done, next thing you know, it, the one thing I never understood is, why do they treat you like, like dirt, like trash? They treat you horribly, like if you meant nothing to them, all to try to maybe, find the way to come back into your life. And this can also be, guys, if if you're picking up the pieces in your life and you're gaining, more confidence, and you have, let's say, you're so confident to the point that you are gaining, a liking by other people, or you're getting more attention. You're actually doing things that don't involve them, that is, giving you attention, or it's giving you status. They will try to come back in for that. Okay? Because the idea of you being happy with someone else, no. The idea of you being successful with someone else, no. Okay? The idea of someone actually locking you down and them never having access to you again, no. I can imagine, Ruth. I can imagine. And I'll tell you something. I hadn't realized that I was dealing with a narcissistic people. I didn't know what a narcissist was. Didn't know what a narcissist was. I knew what a psychopath was, but I didn't know what a narcissist was, and I wasn't too familiar with sociopath. And I hadn't realized that the level of relationship that I was attracting was due to my own trauma. Okay. And now let me rephrase that. I'm not even going to say attracting, because anyone can attract these kinds of people. The level of willingness to put up with abusive behaviors and still staying in those dynamics was because of my trauma. It was because I was just I had a lot of childhood trauma that I was holding on to. And that's why I stayed in these relationships. So when people ask you guys, why did you stay so long? Why didn't you leave? Why didn't you go? What did I tell you guys before? Okay. It's not about the whys. It was about the hows. Because even most who actually want to find a way out, sometimes it's not easy to find a way out. It's not easy to escape a situation like that. It's not easy to say, okay, I'm just going to pack my things and the kids and get up and go. No, it doesn't work that way. You don't, especially when you don't know what that other person is truly capable of doing. Whether it could be utter violence, you just don't know. These are the kind of situations that people need to understand. When people stay in these relationships this long, there are a number of factors that have to be considered before they can actually get up and leave. Because if it was so easy, trust me, they would have left already. Which is why I don't pass judgment where people say, I want to get away, I want to escape, but they stay. I get it. I understand. There are situations that you have to configure. You have to set up the plans. And until you can do that, you have to stay put. You got to play along. You have to, tell them what they want to hear. You have to do these things. Listen, the only time I would say manipulation should be utilized is in situations like this. Domestically abusive relationships, domestic violence. If you have to utilize manipulation, do it. Do it. Okay? You're taking a negative, you're putting it by another negative, and when you what happens when you put a negative by a negative? You're going to get a positive. At the end of the day, if you got to tell them what they want to hear, tell them what they want to hear. If you have to, play little Susie homemaker, then do it. Do what you need to do to ensure that the end result will be, when you get out of that situation, you're going to get out of it safely. If you have children, they're going to get out of it safely. It's not easy. And people who think, oh, well, it's just, it just takes a matter of getting up and going away. I want y'all to go onto Google and find out the statistics of people killed from domestic violence situations. How many women's shelters there are throughout the United States for battered women, okay? For battered women who have children, who have fought all their life to try to get away from situations like this. Do the research on that. I tell people, before you judge anyone, you better really understand where they're coming from, because people tend to think, oh, well, you stayed, so there must have been something good. No, it was good in the beginning. It got bad in the middle and it got worse toward the end. And it was just a matter of time before I could actually get out of it. Okay? Sometimes it's not just about physical marks, emotional, I said it, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, verbal abuse is still abuse. It's abuse. It's detrimental to the mind. It's detrimental to your emotions. Okay? Which is what makes you emotionally unstable, which is what makes you emotionally unwell. Okay? It's still abuse. And people need to understand that. People who are not familiar with this narcissistic abuse, psychological abuse, they need to understand. And if they don't want to understand, then you know what? That's fine. Keep your fucking mouth shut. That's it. Don't talk about what you don't know. If you don't want to take the time to understand, you don't want to know, you just want to sit there and judge, I'm just going to put my two middle fingers up and tell you what you can do with yourself. Because at the end of the day, guys, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to try to prove them wrong. You know what you went through. You know what you were feeling. You know what was happening. Only you, God, and the devil himself know. That's it. And at the end of the day, one of the two is going to get you out of that situation, while the other one is going to totally destroy you if you stay in it. So at the end of the day, don't worry about what other people think, what other people got to say about it. Okay? You have no judgment here. This here is a judgment-free zone. I don't judge anyone. Nobody. That's awesome, Lovable. That is awesome. And I'm happy for you. I'm glad you were able to. When it comes down to children, guys, I don't play. I don't play when it comes down to kids. I said it. I ain't ready to die for my son, but I'll damn sure kill for him. Put your hands on me. Just one time. That's all I want. I just want one time. Okay? I learned my lesson. And at the end of the day, I've learned that, people are going to be who they are. It's a matter of discernment. Just always remember that, something, you have one of two choices. If you have a chance to walk away from a situation, walk away from it. Walk away from it. That voice that's speaking to you, that voice is your intuition. That's telling you, okay? If you see the person getting a certain, whatever behaviors they're showing you, if the voice is telling you, walk away. If your spirit is telling you, just walk away, just do it. Just do it. No questions, no ifs, ands, or buts. Okay? Because a fist through the wall can lead to a fist, to a very bad beatdown. So just because they don't take the anger out on you physically and they start to do it around your home and they start to, break things or they start to act out of character, yeah, eventually it'll get to that point. Don't do it. Once you start seeing the anger, once you start seeing them, snapping at you or saying certain things that's hurtful towards you or trying to hurt you in a very malicious manner, it's better to walk away. What if it's your son who's 11? I would say, well, first of all, it can be my son. We don't play that in my house. Okay? My son already know better. My son knows to ask me before anything, and he knows to tell me before anything. But if you have a child who is like that, I mean, start with evaluations. Get him evaluated and see what, therapists say, see what specialists say, because, oftentimes you have children, listen, children can go through depression too. Children can get anxiety too. Children can have things, they can inherit things that they didn't ask for. Okay? They can inherit these things. Sometimes, there may be something that it might not be narcissism, it might be something else. You know how many times people get bipolar disorder confused with narcissism? Antisocial personality disorder, they get it confused with narcissism. There are a lot of other behavioral disorders, personality disorders that that are similar. Well, they're not similar. What's the word for it? What's the word for it? Not similar to narcissism, but no. Oh my gosh, I have the word. You have other personality disorders that I had the word. Now I'm gonna be stuck with this. Help me out here, guys. No, it's not narcissism, but it's I had the word. I had the word and now I lost it. It's not narcissism, but it's well, it's yeah, you have borderline personality disorder. It's under the cluster B of personality disorders, borderline and sociopath, antisocial personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder as well. It is definitely on a spectrum, absolutely, just like autism is. Autism's on a spectrum, right? The autism spectrum. There are different people who fall on different parts of the spectrum. Okay. Narcissism, the thing of it is that people they're saying it's a what is it, mental illness, that it's a mental illness. I mean, listen, it's learned behavior, because if you're not born a narcissist but you're diagnosed as one, what's the most logical response to that? It's learned behavior. It's something that was learned. Okay. When the children are born, you're not born a narcissist, you're not born a codependent, you're not born, anything. You're basically with a blank canvas. But these are behaviors that they learn throughout their life. These are behaviors that were ingrained in their mind. You know, people, I mean, listen, DSM wants to say, well, this is a mental illness. So, yeah, you're damn right it is. Oh, it's the battery's about to die. It is a mental illness. It is a mental illness, but it's not excusable. It's not excusable, and these are just we can't just sit there and say, oh well, the person is a narcissist or they have narcissism. Well, it's a mental illness. Okay, so explain to me why them having a mental illness means that their shitty behaviors go unaccountable. No, no. We're not. Listen, I hold everybody accountable. If I'm gonna be held accountable for my shit, you're gonna be held accountable for yours. That's it. We're not gonna sit here and talk about this is it's excusable. It's okay. Oh well, it's okay because it's a mental illness. No, it's not. Okay? Someone who has bipolar disorder is someone who has imbalances in their brain. They're born with these, it's a physical, biological issue that they have within their brain. Okay? Narcissism is from learned behaviors. It's from learned behaviors. It's not a strain. We're not, like a strain in genetics. Mental health issues in our families contribute. They can heighten narcissistic behaviors, making it worse. But no, no. Hold on 1 second. I want to take this phone out. Just put it here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just switching things around because I don't want to cut you guys off. Let me. I'm sorry. Don't mind me. Wait. Okay. Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. I'm sorry about that. I just want to make sure that the battery doesn't die out. But Oh, see, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. And it's just, let me tell you guys something. Now that they've made it that, the DSM is saying, I mean, listen, the DSM says it, then it must be true. Then again, in the medical field, I mean, you know, it's not like it's, they're banking on your mental health issues. Mental, we gotta, we gotta leave, what is that? The medical industry is not a big, cash, what is it called? Cash cow? It's not like you having mental health problems puts money in a lot of prestigious doctors' pockets. When the reality of it is that it could be so simple when it boils down to, like, people who suffer schizophrenia, people who suffer um extreme multiple personality disorder, whatever the case may be. I guess, I guess. But at the end of the day, and I would truly have to say, in order for me to completely agree that a behavior is excusable, is if the person is not conscious of their behaviors. And of course, that would have to be proven to me. You would have to prove to me that the person who is acting in this nature, acting in this manner, is not coherent, absolutely not conscious. Oh, excuse me. Absolutely. I hold no secrets. I had no secrets. I'm human. I burp. Sorry. But you would have to prove to me that they are not conscious, that they are completely unaware, yes, completely clueless to what it is that they are doing. If you can prove that to me, then and only then is when I will consider saying, okay, I understand the person was unaware, they were, unconscious, they were just pretty much, this is, but no. A narcissist is completely aware of what they're doing. They may not know, as far as them being classified as one, they may not sit there and admit to being a narcissist because they may not be aware that they are a narcissist, but their behaviors, they know right from wrong. They know right from wrong. And to sit there and say, um, I'm ending things with you because it's all your fault, because it's all on you, because you're the reason why it happened. You, no, 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 that is bullshit. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that. I'm not going to take accountability for everything that you have done in this, dynamic, all because you don't want to admit that you're a lying, cheating sack of shit. Pardon my French, yet again. Sorry, not sorry, because I'm really not. Okay. Mm-hmm. I know, and Anna, I've heard it all, and that's why most people say, well, well, I've heard it all. I've heard it all, and not only have I heard it all, but I've prepared myself because if in the future, for what it is, I'm pretty sure I know they would try to say. And this goes for anyone in my life that was in my life who were narcissistic, selfish, manipulative, with mental health issues. I just don't I just don't see any need for these people. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, a lot of you have children with them. A lot of you have to maintain, a cordial relationship with them. And I get it. I completely understand. And I would never tell you to not be cordial with them, you know. But whatever you do, don't be reactive, don't be responsive, don't allow them to get you to jump out of character, don't allow them to make you emotional. Okay, learn the tactics, learn, the different things that they may try to do to get a reaction out of you, and you gotta kind of block it out, and you gotta numb it, just numb it all out, because they want you to react. A negative or positive reaction doesn't matter. You're still giving them attention. You're giving them reason to talk shit. Excuse me. Reason to make you feel like you're losing your mind, to make you feel like, oh God, I ain't never gonna be able to, be at peace or be happy. I'm never going to actually be able to just enjoy my life. You're not going to be able to, especially if you are too interactive with them. Listen, if you don't got kids with them, block them, delete them, change your number. I've been getting messages, and in some cases comments, constantly being asked, well, will they come back? Will they come back? Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? I try to give the easiest ways to do things. Give them no room to re-enter. Give them no room to re-enter. The one thing I don't like, and I'm going to explain something here, guys. I'm not here to enable these kinds of relationships. I'm not going to tell you what to do to get them to come back. I'm not going to tell you how to get even with them. I'm not going to tell you these things because I don't need anybody doing something and then saying, oh, well, Erica said to do this and do that. No, I'm going to tell you like this. If you are serious about ridding yourself and ridding your lives of these people, okay, you have to do the necessary work to get rid of them completely. Which means if you can change your phone number to not allow them access to speak with you on the phone, to text you, to message you, if you're able to do it, if it's non-conflictive with, if you got a business or whatever the case may be, do it. Hell, if you're able to move, do it. But that's not always the case. If you, remove them from your social media, block them, okay? Block them from every single platform that you have. They will see that you're serious if you are taking things more seriously. They will see that you are not about the games. You're not about the BS if you take those necessary steps. I get messages sometimes from people, and sometimes I wonder, are you asking me because you really want to know what the steps are to get rid of these people, to rid them and actually move on with your life? Or are you asking me because you're in hopes that they're going to come back? And I can only pray for you that they don't. Okay? People often hold on to the good sides. I know we had bad times, but there were good parts. Screw the good parts. Forget the good parts. Okay? What did I say? A piece of shit dipped in gold is still a piece of shit dipped in gold. Okay? And that's exactly what you're going to continuously get. They've shown you who they are. And there are way too many people out there in the world who will treat you better, who will love you better, who will give you what you deserve. And not treat you remotely close to the way these people treated you. I've seen situations where, and I've had different people email me saying, giving me their stories, and sometimes I'm repulsed, and I'm just repulsed by the actions of these people, because it's like, but in some cases, I do get a little tinged with the people who are sending me these messages, because it's like, okay, this happened, but then they came back. But then this happened, and then they came back. And then this happened, and then they came. Listen, fool me once, shame on you. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt, fool me twice, shame on me. There's no more chances after that. There are no more chances after that. Okay? And then what happens sometimes when people message me, I don't hear from them for a while. But if they do message me, it happened again. I ended up giving in. I feel, and I try to comfort people and telling them, listen, I understand. Okay? People have the slips and falls, but this has to be the last time. And people know me in my mouth. I'm kind of like that big sister. I'll be your big sister. I'll be your best friend. I'm a mom. So if you need me to be a mother figure, that's what I'll be. But I'm not going to tell you guys what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. I'm going to tell you like it is. And in the way I only know how. Because I could sit here and try to, give the technical terms and try to be all professional with it. And, I could do that, but I'd rather just relate to you guys and just tell you like it is. I'm not just someone who's just sitting here like, okay, we only got an hour, go. No, I want to be someone that you can feel comfortable with, and you can really feel, which is why I give you guys my experience. I don't want you guys going through the motions and expressing yourself and then I'm just giving it to you dry. I'm not going to do that. All right? You guys deserve better than that. Yeah. Yeah, Jesse, you hold on to it and then it clouds your judgment. You hold on to the good memories and it clouds your judgment and it makes you question, did I make the right choices? It makes you question on whether or not you should even trust your own choices. Meantime, that other person did exactly that. Just remember that if the bad outweighed the good, chances are it's no bueno. You got to let it go. You got to cut it off. Okay. I have never been so eager to cut off toxic people. You do not know. You do not know. The minute someone gets loud on the phone, or the minute someone's like, let me tell you something, click, block, that's it. I'm done. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to do any of that. Okay. I'm going to hang up the phone. I'm going to block your phone number. I'm going to block you from every platform. And then I'm going to go into my freezer, have my ice cream, sit in my corner and watch my TV and have a very peaceful night because that's the way God intended. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. Cutting people off has never been so hard for me. And I've managed to gravitate towards awesome people in the process of doing it. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I decided to really, just really be a part of something that is really going to help give back to the community and give back to people who deserve it. You guys have been such an amazing, intricate part of this journey for me. And now I want to be able to reciprocate that to you. So, and you see, I didn't get to do my live yesterday, but I'm here today and I'm here for both of you guys. So I'm just glad that I can be that person that can talk with you guys. All narcs are toxic people, blocked, cut off forever. You can't buy peace. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. And God gives you peace for free. He gives you peace for free. Why can't I scroll? That little boy. I'm sorry, guys. They're running track upstairs. They're running track upstairs. These people are just back and forth with this kid. Projection is confessions. Yes, it is. Libra moon. They know what they're doing. My ex admitted to intentionally hurting me. See, yeah, DSM-5. Well, they've DSM has actually like modified a couple of times. They've modified a few times. So I'm like, listen, you can give me the mechanics. You can give me I'm gonna give you the breakdown as far as the formulas are concerned and the different mechanics behind a narcissist. But unless every other therapist and psychologist and psychiatrist has been in every single one of your homes to witness what is going on, they can't really, if they can't really relate to the situation, because some people will come at me and be like, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not up there. Really, really. Don't you find it coincidental that 160 million other people have gone through a similar experience? I would not call that a phenomenon. That would be a phenomenon. That would be something that is like, oh my gosh, coincidental. That's not coincident. Coincident. Did I say coincident? I said coincident. I'm making up words as I go along, guys. It's not coincidence. Okay? It's a behavioral pattern. It's a pattern. And if I'm going through it over here and I'm in New York and someone is going through it in California, and someone else is going through it in Texas, and someone else is going through it in Canada, and someone else is going through it in China and Africa, and it all over. You're gonna sit here and tell me it's a fucking coincidence? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think most people get mad that we are just talking more about it. We're exposing it more, and we're actually opening up people's eyes where they're looking for the red flags. They're looking for the problems. They're looking for, you're not looking for trouble. You're not looking for drama, but you're looking to protect yourself. So now you're on alert. And these are the same people who don't want you to be on alert. They want you to be completely oblivious to whatever it is that's going on. No, 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 no. Oh, wow. JD, mine was very malicious. He threatened to shoot me in the head if I ever left him. Can I get my broomstick, please?
You're really gonna
JD, I hope if you're still 3 weeks no contact, and I feel extremely blessed. Thank God. Thank God. I can't imagine. I can't imagine what you'd gone through with that. I oh man. That's okay. I got it. We can leave right here.
No. We're not doing
We can
that.
leave right here. No, we could put you could put the broom right here. That's okay. Guys on YouTube, I'm so sorry. Uh you can leave the broom here. Get. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I have to use the broomstick like an old school Spanish person because this running back and forth. Whose kid runs back and forth at 9 o'clock at night, at 6 o'clock in the morning? I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm supposed to be here for you guys, but I think I need to vent a little bit because this kid runs from 7 o'clock in the morning, and I think they watch when I come home from work to see when I get here so they can do it again. Yeah, no, it's 9:55 over here too. But guys, do you have neighbors who's just stomping, running back and forth, back and forth? Arthur, I'm from New York. I'm from New York City. Look, melatonin is what they need to get the kid up. Well, I mean, listen, my mother. I remember what my mother would give us when we would act up and we weren't listening. Wasn't no melatonin either. I would have craved for melatonin if I was running back and forth. Oh, Unity from New York. Ruth from Manhattan. I haven't been to Manhattan well, I've been back to Manhattan twice? No, well, yeah, a couple of times since we came out of quarantine. I love Manhattan. I just don't like the train ride out there. It's just a lot of crazy people, especially now. It's just a homeless person tried to steal my coffee on the train. I couldn't. And if she spotted me. I had an iced coffee. She spotted me and she's just like, I want some coffee. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, and the aroma, I was wearing a mask and it literally almost burned the hole in my mask, man. I couldn't do it. I love you guys, but I'm gonna tell you something. I don't really like people. I don't like people. I love people who gravitate towards me because then it lets me know that, my spirit, my energy is welcoming you in it. But when I go outside, I'm like, I have the resting bitch face on. I have that leave me alone. Don't approach me. Don't talk to me. I don't want to know nothing. Nothing. Money Tree, thank you. You're from Birmingham, UK. Oh wow, it's 3 a.m. over there. Where are you guys? Yeah, you know what, guys? Let me know where you guys are from. What parts of the world? It's awesome that I get to see different people from all over the place. Connecticut. I was actually considering moving to Connecticut too. Texas. My brother lives in Texas. I was actually supposed to move to Texas before the pandemic hit. We got NYC, we got Texas, New Mexico. Oh, Ruth, trust me, sweetheart, when you can relate to it, you're not going crazy, honey. You're not going crazy. None of you. Chicago, Northern California. All right, cool, guys. So when I travel, I know, I got a place to stay. I could chill. I'm a good house guest, okay? I'm a good house guest. I make breakfast. I make banging coffee. I make banging coffee. So now when I travel around, that is so awesome, guys. That is awesome to see where you guys are from. I got Philly, Arizona. JB, yes, I'm sorry, honey. I'm so sorry. My YouTube gang. I am so I'm trying to go back and forth because I'm trying to make it for TikTok too. I'm sorry, guys. I I'm trying so hard. I was trying to see if I can stream on YouTube and TikTok, but TikTok doesn't take third party streaming apps. I'm sorry, guys. We got come get a cheesesteak. It's only 2 hours. So I want a Philly cheesesteak now. I want a Philly cheesesteak. You guys got to tell me where's the best place to go for a Philly cheesesteak.
Constitution Avenue.
Okay,
Philly.
why don't we let people from Philly talk? Okay, they're the people from you went to visit Philly, but these are people who know, like they know the good spots.
Okay.
I know you guys know like the good hole in the wall spots too.
Phil's cheesesteaks.
Annie, yeah, I know that feeling, sweetheart. I know that feeling because they want to see what's going on or who's in the background or they want to hear, if there's anybody. That paranoia, bro. That paranoia it'll just make you sick. Michaela, I've been trying to let go of my ex for 7 years. You know what? I know letting go is hard. But let me ask you something. And here's a bit of a mind trip. What if it's not you trying to let go of your ex, but your ex won't let go of you? Think about it. Just think about it. I want you to seriously think about that. Okay? It's what if it's not you trying to let them go, but it's them who can't let go of you? Because that is also a very, very big, especially when they are trying their hardest to they're trying their hardest to make you NYC 1964. It's about abusive relationships, narcissistic abuse, domestic abuse. It's a channel pretty much for survivors in the community who have been through all types of roller coasters, not just narcissistic, but any type of relationship issues that involve any form of abuse. It's for people who've been involved in it. Libra Moon, it's Intuitive Vibes, Narc Survival 101. The link is in my bio. So if you click on it,
I just put it in.
okay. Yes, they do, Ruth. They definitely have they play the victim role and they play it very well. They play it very well. They're basically, how it's so easy for them to play the victim? When they manage to set up situations that gets you to react in a very negative way and react, not respond, but react. And it makes you seem unstable. It makes you seem And how they do it is they do it where it's it can't be seen by the naked eye, meaning that people in the surroundings can't see what they're doing because they're heavily manipulating the situation. But when you react to what it is that they're doing, everybody can see you reacting. Meantime, they're pretty much, I was joking. What are you talking about? Why are you talking to me this way? Why are you acting like this? They're playing that role where you're the villain and they're the victim. When in actuality, you are reacting, you're responding to whatever that situation is that they created. Okay? So they're giving everyone the show. They're pretty much showing everyone, look at how unstable Ruth is. Look at how Ruth is acting. Look at how she's talking to me. Failing to, these people are failing to see all of the actions that person was doing to make you react to them. They're very sly and conniving people, very cunning people. So definitely, that's why I say when they do things, don't respond, because they're pretty much setting up the dominoes so you can knock them down. And you can knock them down in front of people that they've already managed to manipulate with regards to your mental health. You're the one with the issues. You're the one with the problems. How many of you got you're bitter? You're bitter. You're bitter that they ended things. You're bitter, you're jealous, you're just mad. You can't handle even when you speak on it. When you speak on it and you are expressing yourself. You're going through the motions, right? You were the bitter ex. You were the one who couldn't handle the fact that they didn't want to be with you anymore. You were the one who couldn't handle the fact that things were over. And mind you, this was after, this is after you closed the door on them. If you notice that, if you notice that, after you closed the door and you said, no, I'm done, I'm walking away, and you start talking about it, you started going to group therapy, you start coming to, oh yeah, Davy, you're so dramatic. Yeah. You start coming to your senses about things, and then what happens? You know, everybody's like, oh, but I'll use myself as an example. Well, Erica's, talking about this, and Erica's doing that, and Erica's this, and Erica's that. So what's going on with that? She's just bitter. She's just bitter because I ended things with her. She's just bitter because I didn't want to be with her anymore. And yet, they didn't tell the people that, they didn't tell them what they were doing in the process. They didn't tell them what they were doing behind the scenes. They didn't tell them what they were doing to me, because they had all intention on coming back. They just wanted to put me on ice. So what happens? I closed the door. And because I closed the door and I managed my healing and I started talking more about it and I started relating more with people about it, and now other people are asking questions and other people are starting to see things, and now they're like, well, wait a minute, but she's saying all of this. Now they got to try to save face. Now they got to try to save face, because they didn't intend for you to close that door. They didn't expect you to say, no, I'm walking away. I'm done. I'm not doing it no more. Now they got to try to save face. Other people, which this has happened to me, guys. I've had other people making fake pages, creating fake accounts, YouTube, Instagram, wherever they could, making fake accounts and trying to troll me, calling me bitter, telling me, I'm bitter, I need to get over it, I need to, move on. Mind you, I've already moved on, but okay. I've had people tell me, oh, this person, you keep talking about it, they're never gonna. I already have an idea, because see, it doesn't stop, guys. I don't stop getting trolled. I've had people make fake accounts to monitor my pages, to monitor. In fact, I'm about 99.9% sure that either one, two, possibly three people are watching my lives, watching my content. And at the end, you're going to watch. I'm going to give you something to watch. Oh, yes, Libra moon. Yes. And you know something, that's okay. I said it's fan behavior. They don't want, bless you, they don't want me to talk about it. They don't want me to talk about, because see, I talk beyond. I talk above and beyond my experience. I talk about the things that I have seen. I've talked about the things that I have, I've come in contact with. And at the end of the day, I'm just gonna basically say like it is. I don't say things with, like, oh, this is what was happening. Because certain things can appear a certain way and it may not be that way. So I'm also very careful to make sure that when I mention things, I say things such as, I believe that was happening, which basically is indicative of, I'm not going to sit there and say it was happening if it wasn't true, because then that would be gossiping, right? So I would give my opinion on a situation. I believe this was happening. I believe this was what was going on, but slowly but surely, God reveals so much to you. He reveals everything to you. So at the end of the day, you gotta take everything with a grain of salt. Make sure that, if you, of course, are going to, because it goes both ways. If you're going to say something about a situation, make sure you have concrete evidence of it. Okay. But if you don't, it's a safe bet to say, I believe this is what happened. I believe, this is what went on. That means it may or may not be true. I'm not sure. I'm not adding, I'm not going to etch it in stone, but at least it doesn't put you in the position of, you're smearing someone. You're doing, you're doing bitter XBS and all that stuff or whatever. It protects you in the process. So I learned a thing or two. It definitely does protect you. How do you begin to let go and not fall back into the trap? I I don't know if this would work for everyone, but what I did was I constantly reminded myself about the horrible, the bad things, the yelling, the just, the trash talk, the way he treated me, the what he put me, like the state of mind he put me into. I constantly reminded myself about it because I wanted to I wanted to be more logical than have emotions. When you're logical, you're thinking more clearly. So I had to remind myself of all of the things that he said. I had to remind myself of all of the things that he did. Okay. So each and every time, if you get to a point where you're like, I kind of miss this person and I'm thinking about it, think about that time when they talked down to you. Think about that time when you saw them flirting with other people right in front of your face and not give a damn about you. Think about the time when you were trying to get clarity and reach out to them. They were just boldly, ignoring you, but yet you saw them talking to everybody else. You saw them hanging out with everybody else, knowing that you were in pain, knowing that you were in your feelings. Think about that. Think about when they went back to their ex. Think about that. You got to put yourself in that position. And it worked for me because I managed to learn discipline. I learned how to discipline myself as far as my emotions. Um, but it may not work for everyone. And that's why I say, if you find yourself, if you want to try it, try it. But if you find yourself getting too angry, you find yourself getting too emotional, pull yourself out of it, break out of it. Okay. Because oftentimes people will do it and then they'll end up staying stuck in it. They'll stay stuck in that. And I don't want you to do that. But think about the times, the bad times. You got to think about the bad times. You got to think about the negatives, because that'll push away the so-called good times that you had, and it will remind you why your ex is your ex. Okay? It'll remind you of that. I think when I went through it, at that time, I wasn't thinking about, do you know who I am? I wasn't thinking like that. I wasn't thinking this person must be out of their mind when I had done nothing but respected them and been kind and loving towards them. Okay. They didn't think any, I didn't think anything like that. I was just thinking, oh my gosh, what can I do to change myself to make this person fall in love with me again? Because they fell out of love with me, and it's because it's something that I did. That's what I was thinking. And how I got through it was I allowed my anger to lead me, but I didn't allow it to control me, if that makes sense. I allowed what I felt, my anger, to kind of direct me where I needed to go, but I didn't let it control me. Oh, Eloise, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. I love you too. Oh, Michaela, that's why he does it. That's why he does it. He does it because he's basically looking down his nose at you. He makes you feel like you're nobody, something, your stability. He may be financially stable, which, I mean, listen, financially, anybody can get anything financially and materialistically, but you have something that he doesn't have. Okay. And that's something I want you to understand. Yes, financial stability is important, very important. We need it because we need it to survive. But now that you know this, so you are seeing that the reason he's doing it is because he's got some money in the bank, so he wants to put you down because, listen, work at your own. Do your own. I don't know if you have children or not. If you guys don't have children and you have the ability to really bring all of this together, you do it. Because I remember days where, I was stranded with my son, and I was dealing with people who took my son's disability. My son has autism. They took my son's disability as being problematic. And I really did not have the stability that I needed, and the help that I needed to ensure that my son had safety. See, people who are narcissistic, who are manipulative, who are narcissists, the one thing they're going to do is they want to have something to hold over you. Okay? They want to have something to hold over you. If they want to, if they got a place to stay, they have an apartment and you don't, what happens? The minute you come in there, they have something to hold over you. If you need help with your children and you ain't got nobody else and you go to them, they have something to hold over you. Okay? They always find ways to basically kind of grab you by the balls. That's what they want to do because they want the control. They want you to be dependent on them, and because it gives them that sense of power. I own you. I can control you. I can say and do what I want, and you can't do anything about it because you're in a weaker position. But what would happen if you flip that around? What would happen if you flipped it around? If you flipped it around and you actually said, you know something? No. Because it wasn't, let me tell you something, guys. It was not easy for me. It was not easy for me when it came to my child. I've had to deal with different types of people when it came to relying on other people, and it was hard getting out of these situations. But eventually I did it. And I got here to the point where I am not only independent financially, materialistically, emotionally, but I have my own and I don't need to rely on anybody else. You know, it took a while, but I got here. It's going to take a while for you guys too, but you're going to get there. You just got to stick with it. Continue doing it. Money tree, trust me. Trust me. People never understood my situation throughout the years. A lot of people didn't understand my situation. And it's rough when you have a child who has a disability, you know, and you're trying to work hard to, to give that child, but it's like, what do I have to do just to be able to see my son healthy, see him happy and safe and protected, and not have to have things lorded over my head? Because I'm always appreciative of anyone who offers me help or who says, I'm willing to help you. But at what cost? At what price? When you deal with people like this, it's always going to be a price to pay, no matter what it is, whether it be through your finances, your emotions, your mental health, your spiritual. It's always going to be some type of price to pay. Peace is free. Anguish is going to cost you everything. It's going to cost you everything. We got to think about that too. I don't blame. And let me tell you guys. I'm sorry. Give me one sec. Hi, Cicely. My YouTube babies. I have not forgotten about you guys. I love you all. I'm just trying to go back and forth. You know what? If I could see through this eye, I'd be able to see that screen, and I can see through this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm blind through one eye. I don't know if you guys have noticed or not. Like I said, I hold no secrets. I won't hide nothing. I am blind through one eye. So I'm going to let you know right now, if you see that this eye is kind of closed because it is a lazy eye. Okay. I am not ashamed to say it. Yes, I have a lazy eye. I am blind through this eye. And I actually have a bit of cataract. I actually have to get my eye. I probably have to remove this eye and put a different one in. If I'm lucky, they'll give me a blue eye. I always wanted to have blue eyes. What? I'm not hiding nothing from nobody. I'm not keeping no secrets from anyone, guys. Okay? We already have established a relationship here, okay? We all have a relationship here. So I'm going to let you guys know, okay? This eye, I cannot see through my right eye. Unless I'm truly focused, yes, it has a mind of its own. It is what it is. That's just the way it is. What you laughing at? I'm being honest. Listen. I have nothing to hide, okay? When the bra comes off, the boobs go, one goes east, the other one goes west. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not gonna deny myself for no one. I just, I'm not wearing a faja today, but if I was, I guarantee you this much. Once I take it off, I'm trying so hard not to. I'm so sorry, guys. I'll keep it honest with you guys. I'm like, listen, maybe that's why I didn't see it coming.
Oh my gosh, two people. They fall like they drunk.
I guess that's why, guys, I didn't see it coming because I couldn't see through this eye. That's my blind spot. I think I need to be careful now because if anybody knows that I can't see through this eye, and they'll be like, "All right, I'm gonna deal with Shorty on this side. She can't see nothing anyway." Chris, no, she's my best friend.
Next scene,
She's my best friend. She's my best friend. This is Amanda, my best friend, my assistant. My moderator. Chef. She helps me with everything. She helps me with scheduler. She schedules me so I can create the content that I create and take care of everything.
Security.
Thank you, Doritos. Thank you. But yeah, guys, this is the Erica that you guys. This is what?
No, this is not.
This is the Erica they get to know. This is who I am. I'm very honest. I'm very blatant. I'm very blunt. And I'm that friend that, I'm the friend who will agree with you when you're right and disagree with you when you're wrong. That's who I am. Okay? And if I see anything that may hinder you or hurt you, I'm going to tell you like it is and let you decide what you want to do from that point. And just know that my interest in your lives and helping you guys out will always be genuine, and it's always going to be, it's just going to come from the heart. That's just who I am. All right. And I'm sure you guys trust yourself enough to make the right decisions. You trust yourself enough to know, because I don't have to constantly say it, but your spirit will let you know about me. I'll let you decide for yourself. Okay. I'm just here to help. That's all I'm here. I'm here to help. I'm here to grow old. I'm here to take care of my kid and hopefully have a house on Long Island and just grow old there. That'll be my dream. She had me feeling like I wasn't strong unless I was with her and wanted me to give up my place. Don't give up your independence for anyone, especially if they have not proven themselves. If they have not proven themselves for it. I never expected, and that was the one thing I would say. I never expected someone to give up. It's because, first of all, it's not a sacrifice. Being in a relationship is not a sacrifice, right? Compromising is one thing, sacrificing is another. Okay, where you're completely giving in to every single thing that the person wants and you're not getting anything in return for it. Okay, but don't ever give up what you worked hard for, especially if you're not sure, or like I said, if they're giving you the bare minimum, or if they're just kind of, you know, they're just giving you little breadcrumbs. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Hold on to everything that represents your independence, whether it be, materialistically, financially, emotionally, energetically, whatever. Don't give it up until you know for sure. Okay. And even when you know for sure, double check just to make sure. Do not give it up. Don't give up everything you worked hard for. Because the minute you do that and you go ahead and you just go waltzing into it, you're giving them full control. You're giving them control to have the ability to throw you out if they wanted to, possibly call the cops if you're, arguing and you're not doing what she or he wants you to do. No, don't do it. Please don't do it. Please don't. Benny, how are you, Benny? 3884. I'm glad you did too, Ruth. I'm glad you did, and stick along for the journey. You never know. You never know. You got so many people who are going through different motions, and you have so many awesome people who come on here to just talk about it, and help each other out. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I'm a firm believer that when you're being guided or you're being directed to go somewhere, you know, whatever the direction that is, it's for a reason. It is for a reason. I usually come on Thursdays, but I didn't get a chance to come on yesterday, so I'm here today. Thank you, Kava. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm just me. I'm just me. I like to just peace is priority. Peace has always been my priority, and I always look to bring peace into people's lives. And as long as they're not, accepting my energy and sucking the energy from me are two different things. So as long as everyone is taking my energy and they're using it for good reason, with a purpose, it's all that matters to me. Take all that you need. I'm glad. Betty, I'm glad. I'm glad that you came, and I'm glad that you're a part of it. Each and every one of you have a very, very, like I said, a very intricate part of this journey. You have your own paths that you're going on, but you're just meeting each other along the way, and I'm super, super happy about it. And guys on YouTube, you guys need to start opening up TikToks so you can come on here because you got some awesome people over here too. And vice versa.
Why
What?
are you trying to get them to platform jump?
Because they get to meet cool
It's
people
not
on
their
TikTok
fault
and
that
they
you
can
didn't do
move.
your TikTok on Thursday. I told you your schedule.
I would open both my eyes if I could, but I can't.
I told you your schedule.
Ruth, I usually come on like around 8 p.m., but it fluctuates. It does fluctuate. So if you're following, you'll be notified. As soon as I log on,
Turn
you'll
on
be
your
notified of
notification
it.
bell. You'll get the bell, the notification she's on.
Michaela, I'm so glad, sweetheart. I'm glad. I'm glad. And guys, if you guys have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Please don't hesitate to reach out and just, you know, let me know if you have any questions. You email, you can send me a message, whichever way is comfortable for you. You can definitely reach out to me, and I would be more than glad to help you with anything that you may need. Yes, Ty, it did. It did. Okay. But the one good thing about it is that with not being able to see through one eye, my other senses are heightened. So I really didn't lose anything. But guys, I'm just so happy with the way things turned out today and how, everybody just came, and even the new people who are here, who are seeing this for the first time. If you ended up following, and I will see you in future lives, I look forward to it because you guys are awesome. Each and every one of you, all platforms, you're all awesome. And I'm just glad that I can be I can be there. Steph, just give me one moment, sweetheart. I'm just glad I could be there for you guys. I'm glad I can talk to you guys and help you with whatever it is you need help with. I'm not an expert on it. I'm still studying in psychology, but when it boils down to the relationship aspects and the different behaviors and the forms of abuse and the tactics and how they speak to you and the things they'll say, I done heard it all, and I'm pretty sure you have too. So, you guys are very smart people. You're extremely, extremely smart people. And I want you to take that with you. Okay. And I want you to take with you anything that they have told you, anything they have made you, however way they made you feel, however way they've projected onto you, chuck it. Chuck it. Throw it away. Throw it away, tie it up, throw it outside. That had nothing to do with you. Had absolutely nothing to do with you. Okay? And just remember that. That had to do with them and the shitty people in their life who projected onto them. Okay? You went with good intentions. Don't take anything they tell you personally because it had nothing to do with you. And I'm not just saying that to say it, I'm telling you because it's the truth. That had nothing to do with you. Their projection onto you was from triggering moments from their past, from people who were in their past, people who were in their family, people who have abused them, people who lied to them, cheated on them, made them stone cold, turned them into complete and utter, it's a good word for it,
Not nice people.
not nice people.
Because what you want to say, you shouldn't say.
Not nice people, yes. Because what I truly want to say might get me.
Starts with a C word and
Yeah.
the other one is a D word.
Yeah, no. I can't hold on one second. So Steph had asked about covert narcissists. Covert narcissists. Well, I mean, covert narcissists are considered to be the more dangerous ones because they're the ones who do everything behind the scenes, as opposed to the counter overt narcissists, which are the more open, out in the open type of narcissists. Coverts are the ones who pretty much, they pretty much do everything where it's kind of like framing. They frame you. That's a good word to use. They frame you. They'll set everything up. They'll set up a crime scene, and it has like everything pointing in your direction, the whole entire crime scene. And they've managed to set up that crime scene because they went behind your back and did all types of, I don't know, they took locks of your hair to get your DNA and your fingerprints and all this stuff, and they planted it all over the place. That's how a covert is. They will literally tear you down like minutes before you go to a family function or you go to, an event with people. Like they will literally make you feel so small. Okay. And I've used this reference before too. Even like if you're in the car and you're heading on your way there, they will argue, they'll tear you down, they'll talk down to you, make you feel like complete, like if you're nothing. And the minute you get out the car, smile for the cameras. Smile for the cameras. We got to look good. Don't make me look bad. And they will pretend in front of everyone that they love you. They're in love with you. You're one big happy couple. You're one, you two are like two peas in a pod. Okay? And all the while you're there, they're going to throw jabs at you. They're going to, insult you, joke about you, or even, try to crack jokes on you in front of everyone because it gives them the attention. So they're kind of like they're masking the insults with the jokes, with the, I was just playing around. You're too sensitive.
Underhanded insults.
You're
Underhanded insults.
Yeah. You're too sensitive. You're overreacting. What are you talking about? You take things out of context. You don't know what you're talking about. I can't joke with you. And what they do is they do this in front of people so that way they can see how you are like, you're like a stick in the mud and they're just trying to have a good time. The reality is that they know that those underhanded comments are stinging you. They're hurting you, but they don't care. They truly don't care. We'll get more into that, guys, next week. I'm going to get more into the covert narcissists, the different types and more examples, better examples, because I know everybody's situation is different. We'll definitely get more into that. I just want to say to everyone, if I did not get to answer your questions, I truly, truly apologize. When I start talking, I can't stop. I just get so into it because I really want to get this information out there for you guys. So, I apologize if I didn't get a chance to stop at everyone's comments and, and questions. But what I will do is, I will try to go back and check and see. And if I can, I'll send you a personal message to answer your questions. That's the least I can at least do, because like I said, when I start talking, I can't stop. You don't have to agree with that. But anyway, guys, I thank you so much for being here tonight with me. I thank you so much for just, showing support and showing love. You guys are truly awesome people. And I'm just so glad that God brought me here to really reach out to you people and really just connect. Like, you guys have no idea how it really does make me feel like, it makes me feel like for once I'm doing something that, I'm actually just so proud of myself. And I've never really had the chance to say or do that, for myself. So I am just, and I'm glad you found me, Michaela. I'm glad you guys made it here. I'm glad you guys managed to come across and you decided to stick around. You guys are beautiful people. You really, really are. A bunch of beautiful souls. So guys, thank you so much for being here with me tonight. I will be back on Thursday. I promise I will be back on Thursday, and I'll make sure I put the lift on my eye, because it's just, I don't know if it's the lash dragging it down because it's so big, but thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thank you so much for just being part of this journey, being part of the community. You guys are so awesome. I love you all. I hope you have a beautiful night. I hope you all have a great weekend. And I will see you guys on TikTok on Thursday. I will see you guys on YouTube on Friday. And we're going to figure out this whole stream thing so I could try to incorporate everyone. Oh, Moneytree, you're very, very welcome. I'm so glad you found me too. Guys, God bless you all. I wish you all a beautiful weekend, safe, love, peace, God's blessings, you name it. You guys are beautiful. Thank you. TikTok, thank you for joining me tonight. I will see you on Thursday. And like I said, any questions, shoot me a message. I'll be more than glad to help you guys. Okay, so thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. You're all beautiful. God bless you. Have a great weekend. I'm gonna figure out. I can't. I can't close it. It's the nails. YouTube. I'm trying to like, and she sees me struggling here trying to close out the TikTok, and she's just like, "What you gonna do? What you gonna do?" Beautiful people, thank you so much for being here tonight, guys. And I'm so sorry. I've been.
No, she's not.
I am.
You guys scroll through.
I am. You guys know I love you. I love you.
They said they don't want no more triangulation. Ty said he don't want to be part of no new supply for TikTok.
No, what?
Look at his comments. Look at his
Ty, you and I are gonna have a little conversation,
Ty
young
said,
man.
Ty said, wait, I'm gonna tell you what Ty said. Ty said, you hear that, Erica? We refuse to compete with the new supply TikTok.
Ty, really?
Okay. What else? Wait. Wait. That was like, wow, they. He said, that's what happens when you triangulate us, Erica. LOL. That you dropped them 3 times and telling them to skip platforms.
No, I said
she treated y'all crappy today. I get it.
No, I did not.
You done take them off their original position.
No, I did not.
I know. I see y'all guys. I know.
Guys, no.
I
that
get
is
it.
not true.
I know the pain,
guys.
That
is not true, guys. That is not true at all.
I told her to do her TikTok on Thursday. She didn't listen to me. She was too busy bedazzling her nails.
Look at my nails, though. Like, come on.
That's why y'all got bumped.
No, guys. That's not true. That's not true.
They got jumped.
I was very tired, and I didn't get to do my TikTok yesterday.
Dropped.
The phone kept falling. I'm sorry, because I took my case off. Mandy, you know something? It's all good. It's all good. I got her. I got her. I would never, ever, guys, I would never do that. All right, though. Okay? I would never do that. Right. I really wanted you guys to join TikTok also because there are so many people there that they come to the page for the very first time, and I'm telling you, you guys can really help me over there too. So
Davey goes blame shifting. It's not me, it's them.
Really?
Read the comments. I'm not saying it.
Really?
Davey said blame shifting.
I'm telling you guys.
I got you.
Come on Thursday. Come on Thursday. Okay, guys? Come visit on Thursday and see for yourself. Just see for yourself. You come and see me on Thursday. Let me know that you're in the room. I will shout you out and I will let everybody know.
On their behalf. You gotta come on time. You were like
13 Excuse me. Excuse me. You know something? Late. What was I doing before I ended up being late here?
Bedazzling your nails again.
No, that was earlier because I ate dinner. Did I not?
You were bedazzling your nails again.
Tú eres una jodiosa, ¿ok? Sigue jodiendo. Sigue.
You were bedazzling your nails
Guys.
again. Oh my God. Yes, we were eating. Yes. And then what happened?
Guys.
You fudged up on your connections. Then you shifted YouTube people.
I had to log on. I had to do all kinds of stuff. But it will not happen again, guys. I promise. It will not happen again.
Because we're going to make sure she on Thursdays for TikTok.
And look, Stella's on TikTok with us as well.
Yeah.
Okay? And I need more moderators too. So
we'll discuss that off because we talked about that.
But I promise it will not happen again, guys.
That's right.
You know, I love you
guys. You tell her.
I love you all. I'm not fancy smancy. In fact, if anybody wants to come take the Christmas decorations down for me, I'll make you dinner for doing it. Okay? Fair enough? Let me hold on. Guys. No, I do not. Guys.
Whoa, Davey. All right, Davey. We taking it on a whole nother level, Davey.
No. Cicely, you know, I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys because you guys were the ones who got me started on this, and you guys were the ones who were here for me. So I really do, I really do think that, you know, we can expand it more because I have people from TikTok coming over to YouTube as well. So, you know, let's bring them, let's incorporate them because
What she's trying to say is let's initiate. Let's initiate them.
Not initiate them, but just kind of.
I've been trying to get Chai to do TikTok, but you know.
But just incorporate them because a lot of the videos on YouTube are more extended. I can only do like 3-minute videos on TikTok. And at least on this one, they get more detail. They get more understanding to it.
It's like you gaslighting us, guys.
You ain't sharing. Cicely, thank you. Ty, we got sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Okay, guys. My beautiful peoples, my loves. The phone is about to die out, so I'm gonna say goodnight.
You switched the let me TikTok.
The phone's about to die, so I love you all. Thank you for being with me, guys. Yeah, thank you for being with me tonight, guys. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I had a really long week. But I promise next week we'll go back to normal, okay? Back to normal, and we'll do it right next time, okay? Thank you guys for being here. I love you all. Have a great night, great weekend. God's blessings, peace, all that good stuff. Stay safe, stay warm, and stay awesome, guys, okay? Ty, you and I will have a nice little conversation. So I will be messaging you, okay? Alrighty, guys. I love you. Have a good night, and I'll see you on Friday. By yourselves, YouTube only. Okay? Love you guys. Good night.